Hey guys, welcome to the Baseball Junkies podcast. We're in season 2. We're on episode 3. I'm your host, Adrian from A League of Her Own on YouTube.
And I'm your boy, Mr. Enfuego.
Thank you guys so much for being here today or listening to us today. Happy Jackie Robinson Day. Huge day in baseball history. 67 years ago today, Jackie Robinson debuted for the Brooklyn Dodgers. 50 years later, the MLB decreed that his number 42 would be permanently retired. On Jackie Robinson Day, we take time to remember Jackie's impact on and off the field. And not pretty much, all of the baseball players are wearing the number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson today. They all had different types of ceremonies, different things going on to honor him, and it's just a huge emotional, like hugely impacted day of baseball, because Jackie Robinson was just made such a huge impact, not only just being the first African-American player to play in the MLB, but he was good. He was freaking good. He came in and showed them who was boss. So, Mr. Puego, you had, I believe, one little note there you wanted to read about Jackie Robinson.
I did. So obviously we all know today is the day that Jackie made his debut and broke the color barrier. But also in 1997, it marked the 50th anniversary, kind of what Adrian was saying of Jackie breaking the color barrier. And in baseball, it was celebrated before 54,000 plus at Shea Stadium during the game between the Mets and the Dodgers. And President Clinton at the time, he was actually at the game, and he accompanied Jackie's wife, his widow, actually, Rachel. They both spoke during, I think it was like a 35-minute presentation, but then at the surprise of the evening, when the acting commissioner, Bud Selig, he actually announced that the number 42 will be retired for every team. I mean, even though the Dodgers did lose 5-0, just the fact that the number was retired says a lot. But there was only one exception to that rule. And if you don't know about that rule, Mariano Rivera was the actual last active player to wear the number 42. And to be quite honest, I couldn't think of a better person to actually wear number 42 but the Sandman.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think I was watching the Yankees game today, and they had a lot, I'm sure every game did it. They had a lot of different trivia and things like that on Jackie Robinson. And they were like talking about Mariano Rivera. They were talking about other players that wore 42, but nothing sticks out more to me than Mariano Rivera wearing that. Yeah. So that was super cool. We've got a lot of fun baseball news this week. It was an exciting week in baseball. If you guys hadn't keeping up with the Tampa Bay Rays, they were on a tear, almost breaking a record. They ended up tying the record with the Milwaukee Brewers for a opening day winning streak. They had 13 games straight from opening day, no losses. That did come to an end yesterday with the Blue Jays taking them down. The Blue Jays did take them down again today, but that was very impressive gameplay with the Tampa Bay Rays. Super cool. They're obviously going to be a team to watch out for this season. I know their opponents for the first 13 games weren't the most impressive teams right now, but still to go that many games in a row without losing is just quite the feat.
Yeah, I mean, some of the teams that they actually played, they're not the most competitive. I mean, they faced off against the Tigers, the Nationals, the Athletics, the work in progress Red Sox, because I actually felt that the Red Sox was going to break that streak, but then I actually got to thinking the Red Sox have not been the same since they got rid of Xander Bogaerts and David Ortiz retired back in what is it, 18 or 19, something like that. So right now, I guess you could still say they're somewhat in rebuild mode. So, but I'm glad to see that an actual competitor came in and put that noise to rest. Not once, but twice.
I'm sorry. When you mentioned the A's in that list there, and then we were talking about records. Speaking of records being broken,
Oh yeah.
my Oakland A's, my team, the Oakland A's are my team. I'm sticking with them, but because I don't blame it on those players one bit. They didn't have a good game against the was it the O's? I think they were playing.
They
The
played
Mets.
the
I'm sorry,
Mets.
the Mets. The A's walked a record 17 batters. 17 walks batters. Second most in the franchise history, only behind 18 surrendered by the Philadelphia A's in 1916. My Mets are my Mets. I'm sorry, my A's are having a rough go right now, but I still give them mad credit. There's some good players on that team. Some really like that go out and give 100% every time, but they just don't have the organization to back them up right now.
They don't have the support.
But had to, that was kind of a significant record that got broken. So I did want to share that today. Also with that Tampa Bay Rays game that they ended up losing, that was a pretty big game for the Blue Jays with some records there. My if you guys see my Bichette happens here, my new headband, I'm pretty excited about. Bobo went 5 for 5. Bobo is Bo Bichette. That's my nickname for him, just in case you don't know who I'm talking about. And he did break a record in the franchise with quickest to 500 hits. He is on a tear right now. Actually, I can talk about quite a few people on that Blue Jays team. Matt Chapman is just tearing it up right now. George Springer, Kevin Kiermaier, Vladdy, of course. Jose Barrios, that game against the Rays, he hasn't been having the greatest outings, but he did really well yesterday. So that was a really fun, exciting game to watch. So pretty happy with the Blue Jays on that. Speaking of George Springer, he did tie a record for leadoff home runs. He's with his 53rd leadoff home run, ties Craig Biggio for third of all time. So that was pretty cool. He's doing some damage out there. Jordan Walker, a rookie, recently new prospect that came up onto the St. Louis Cardinals organization.
A phenom.
Yeah, he had a 12-game winning hitting streak. 12-game hitting streak going. That did end. I'm gonna get my days mixed up. That ended up either Friday or Thursday. But he's obviously going to be a force to be reckoned with on that Cardinals team that had, if you guys remember us talking a couple of weeks ago, they had kind of a rough go with Tyler O'Neill and the manager having kind of a tip, like kind of a very like out in the open media, like tiff between one another. So, but they've got the peeps, they've got the people to have a good season. Another story I thought that stuck out for me this week, maybe not for a lot of people, but I was watching some more Tampa Bay Rays than I normally would, but just because of what they had going on in baseball. They did have a pitcher that debuted, Ty Bradley, who came out, had a great debut, did 8 strikeouts. It was, one of those games that was part of the streak. It was another one of those games where mom is in the stands. Mom drove out. Like, I remember they were talking, she drove hours to be at the game, and she's watching the game with such seriousness. And she's taking it. Like, I think she was like doing the scoring and stuff herself. She's writing down, or she was writing down every move her
she was
son
keeping
made
track of her own stats.
It was really, really cute to see her seriousness. And then every once in a while he'd do something amazing and she would cheer. And, it's, what a big moment, not only for the player, but for their families, the ones that probably helped them so much to get where they are. It's just just a really cute, happy moment. So
Yep.
congratulations to both of them for that huge achievement. Um, some other fun baseball news. If you guys didn't hear, Logan Webb, the a star pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, just signed a 5-year extension with the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another one of those contracts that Mr. and and I were talking a lot before the baseball season started. Some of these, a lot of more extensions with younger players, making sure they're staying with their teams, kind of getting credit where credit's due. Logan Webb had a, great season a couple years ago. He hasn't been as good, but he's still been a decent player. And to see the Giants make a move like this, it's just, I
It
think it
shows
does.
promise.
It shows promise. It's got to be feel good as a player to have your organization behind you like that.
Yeah.
So, super excited for that.
I mean, even though he didn't get that massive Aaron Judge contract or that Bryce Harper contract, for a young 26-year-old pitcher, they gave him a $90 million extension. So if you really do the math, he'll get $8 million in 2024, 12 in 25, 23 in 6 and 7, then 24 million in 2028. So I mean,
that's not pocket change, my friend.
it's not.
Yeah. So also kind of exciting, Fernando Tatis Jr. will be back next week. He should be, things happen, should be in the lineup next Thursday, April 20th. He's just been ripping the pants off of everybody in AAA right now. So I'm excited to see him come back, because he comes back and plays like we know Fernando Tatis Jr. can play. That's nothing but good for baseball. Yeah. It's going to be exciting. So, yeah, let's see what else we've got in baseball. Oh, baseball news. We did see some power rankings this week. Different people giving MLB did their power rankings and things of that nature. I'm going to see if I can't pull some power rankings up. Mr. Fuego and I were talking beforehand, because my dad is a huge baseball fan. He's in town visiting right now, so I didn't think there could be any more baseball in this house, but it's full throttle right now. I mean, as soon as I picked him up from the airport, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. All the Yankees did this today, and we went right into it. We didn't miss no beats. We talked about all of it. All of it. I love it. Couldn't, and he's a huge fan of Phil Russo from High Heat. If you guys have ever seen him on ESPN, he's a very enthusiastic broadcaster of baseball.
A little far-fetched, but
very loud. I find to me, he's a bit much, but I love it. I love watching people that are that into things. Yeah. His power rankings were interesting. Can't remember the name of the young lady that is broadcasting with him now. I apologize for that, but she did to help set him kind of straight there with yeah, he had if you're doing power rankings for the teams right now, and this was a couple days ago, this was just before the Rays lost, and where it stands at the moment, the Rays kind of got to be number 1, maybe number 2 if you've got some kind of story, but he had him ranked at number 4, and he said he was basing these rankings off of last year's performance as well. He was blending it together, how these teams ended the end of the season and how they're doing well this season. And so she chimed right in, well, if you're doing it that way, the Phillies didn't even make his top 10. So the Phillies were in the World Series last year. So
he's on that rollover minutes plan.
Yes. So power rankings.
But I do have the rankings according to Allison Footer, who actually did the article, and this was dated April 9th. Perfect. So number 1, obviously, she went with the Rays because of their undefeated streak, you know. And 1 week prior to the date of this article, they were actually ranked 11th. So
Interesting.
big jump.
Interesting.
Then
Interesting.
at number 2, she went with the Braves. And she went with them simply because one, given that they're dealing with a whole bunch of injuries and the strength of their divisions, she thinks that the Braves will gladly take their top placement in the NL East, which I don't know. I don't disagree with her.
Yeah.
You know, with Ronald Acuna pretty much back at 100%, nobody's really hurt. I don't see why not. Okay.
Yeah.
Then she went with the Dodgers. You know, so I mean, and she actually wrote it here too, that we're accustomed to seeing the Dodgers in the top 5, given that they've been a powerhouse for more than a decade with an organizational depth that has helped keep them relevant on a consistent basis. But she goes on to say that, but the LA standards, this hasn't been a great start. And that can be attributed mostly to pitching, because right now the only relevant pitchers they have is Kershaw and who's the other kid? Bueller. You know, the Dodgers dropped 3 of their 4 games to Arizona, and in the final 2 games, they gave up a total of 23 runs.
Yeah.
So they're hurting in the pitchers department. And then top 4 and 5.
Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean,
slow start. Yeah, go ahead.
Then she went with the Yankees at the 4th spot. Okay. And she's basing that off of individuals taking the team and carrying them. You know, you got your Aaron Judge, Anthony Volpe is making a name for himself. So little bits and pieces is what's bringing the Yankees to the top 5. Nice. And then to close it out, she went with the Avengers, meaning the Padres.
Okay? Yeah.
And basically she's saying that Soto is going to be showing signs that he might end up heating up after a horrendous season last year. So if everybody gets on the same sheet of music and play like everybody knows that they can, again, there should be no reason we don't see them in October.
By the way, Phil Russo had the Astros power ranked number 1. I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny. I just found your Allison Footer power ranking there. I like to look at Vegas, the MGM, you know, their power rankings too. They have the Yankees at number 1, Braves number 2, Dodgers number 3. I feel like the Dodgers are just getting higher, and that's just for right now, guys. I understand they've got the players in the team, but those games against the Diamondbacks really we're like, what is, you know, still figuring things out. But so Astros at 4, Mets at 5. I'm just doing the top 10. Padres 6, Rays 7, Blue Jays 8, Phillies 9, Mariners 10. So I feel like they got the right teams there. Maybe not
probably
the
just
right
placed wrong.
Maybe not in the right order for me. What's comment in the chat who your power rankings, your top 3, some of that nature. I feel like the Yankees at number 1 feels right to me right now. And the Rays would have been second because they did great, but because of their opponents. So I guess everybody's got their own way to do it. You can go 100 different ways with this. So, you know, what do you?
And it's still early, so let's see what those rankings look like mid-season.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. MLB standings. Let's look at the standings right now. We've got in first place for sorry, I'm loading, guys. So Tampa Bay first in the AL East. Obviously, we got Toronto following, Yankees right behind them. AL Central, we got those Minnesota Twins who've actually been playing. They're in a series with the Yankees right now. It's been a really good series. The Yankees
embarrassed the hell out of us yesterday.
Yeah, that was, I'm not sure what happened, but things happen. So we'll just try to move on from there. All I know is my dad's here to visit. I went to work and I left the game on for him because it was just starting. I get to work, 5-minute drive. I put it on. I'm in my office. I put the game on and it was 8-0 in the first inning.
Yeah.
So things could have gone better. Yeah. So, yeah, Twins in first place in the AL Central right now, followed by the Cleveland Guardians. AL West, the Texas Rangers. They're doing some things.
Yeah.
I did see DeGrom pitch this past week. He's a beast, man. When he's healthy, which I don't expect him to stay healthy. Sorry, but he's a beast. With the Angels in second place in that division. So interesting things. Seattle Mariners are in that division. They're in second to last right now. But I gotta say, have you guys been seeing Jared Kelenic?
He's heating up.
Jared Kelenic, who came up in 2021, did not have a good rookie year, and people were kind of giving up on him. He is back and doing things right now.
He's having a redemption season
to the moon. Like there's some baseballs he hit this week that they haven't found it out if they've landed
yet.
Woo! So very happy for him. That's awesome because that Seattle Mariner team, we got an eye on them because they got some people on that team, some Julios, so anyways, the A's are 3-12 in that division. Just wanted to throw that out. Okay. In the NL East, we got them Braves doing the Braves things with the Mets behind them in second place there. NL Central, we've got the Milwaukee Brewers, who have actually been super exciting to watch. I see Christian Yelich coming back, doing some early Christian Yelich things. I'm excited for him on that. And the Pirates are in second place.
Yeah.
Wow,
surprising.
dude.
That's a shocker.
Good stuff. I can't believe I'm saying this. The NL West, the Arizona Diamondbacks are in first place right now, followed by the Avengers, San Diego Padres, who are also the Dodgers are third in that line there. So super, we know it's early, but gosh, it's fun to talk about. It's just interesting to see where everybody is standing at this moment in baseball. My baseball news. I think I'm done with my baseball news, my MLB news. Mr. Free, were there any other stories you wanted to highlight or discuss?
Well, we did want to throw out there that Shohei Ohtani broke a 50-year-old Angels record.
Yes, you're right. He broke a Nolan Ryan record at that. Do you have that story up on your thing there? I do have it. Just give me a second here. That was pretty cool. Anytime you break a Nolan Ryan record and say Shohei Ohtani in the same sentence, it's fun.
So basically, while you're looking it up, Ohtani ended up holding the visiting team, and that was the Nationals. I mean, that's not really saying much, but the fact of the matter is he held them to just one hit over 7 innings, setting a new franchise record. And that record was actually set by Nolan Ryan in 1973.
That's freaking awesome. Okay, I found the story here. Let me tell you all about it. On Tuesday night, Shohei Ohtani took the mound for the third time this season and tossed 7 shutout innings to lead the Los Angeles Angels to a 2-0 win against the Washington Nationals. The Japanese two-way superstar struck out 6 and held the Nats to just 1 hit in another dominant outing. The right-hander has improved to a .47 ERA. I repeat, a .47 ERA and 24 Ks in 19 innings, only giving up a single allowed run in his 3 starts. He struck out 32% of batters faced. While he's been a bit wild in the early going on, the 66 BB percentage, the advanced stats are also impressive, holding hitters to a .50 xBA and a .96 slugging. So that's Ohtani. Let's see, the Ohtani's 10th consecutive start with 2 or fewer runs given up. 2 or fewer runs given up, setting a new franchise record and surpassing Nolan Ryan's 9-game streak set back in 1972 and 73.
And just to add a little more icing to that cake, there was a tweet that followed this article, and the tweet reads, and I quote, in 19 innings pitched, is how many innings that Ohtani pitched? He's only allowed 1 run, 24 strikeouts. He's had 47 plate appearances, and he's batting a 300 with a 404 on base percentage and batting a 575 slugging percentage. So I mean,
not too shabby.
Insane.
Not too shabby. Speaking of other stories that we were going to talk about in the show, we never know if we have enough time or how many we're going to get in or how many, things like that. But we did look at this. We were talking about the 500 home run club, and there was a little article that came out and it was talking about, well, who could be next in the 500 home run club. And so without even looking at that list, without, off the top of my head, who you guys think? So obviously I'm like, oh, Mike Trout.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Trout. Obviously Aaron Judge, he just hit 62 last year. Those come off the top of my head right there. And then I'm going through the list and I'm like, okay, kind of like, oh, duh. Bryce Harper's on the list. Shohei Ohtani's on the list. Still, it's early for a lot of these guys, but with the way they're playing now, you can't help. Juan Soto, Mike Trout was first on the list. Juan Soto was second. He's only, career 128 so far, but and speaking of which, Mike Trout is at 353. We've got Nolan Arenado. So I don't know why, because Nolan Arenado is a great player, but I don't know what it is that he never sticks out in my mind. I don't know what it is. Maybe I've got something against him, but he's a great ball player. He can he's at 301. He can hit that. He can hit that 500 for sure. Giancarlo Stanton. He's at 381. He might, looking at those numbers, he might be the first out of this list of people to get to it. We also, I said Bryce Harper. He's at 285. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at 106. So it's still super early in his career, but we see the potential in him of the, he's just got that home run hitting vibe. Am I wrong?
I got one problem with this list.
What you got?
They're missing one name.
All right. I'm going to finish the list.
Go ahead.
And you tell me that name.
Okay.
Ronald Acuna Jr. is on that list.
Okay.
With 122. Manny Machado's on that list with 283. Yordan Alvarez. He's only got 101, but I always say it. He's just got big Poppy vibes to me. So, and 10th on the list, last one on the list, Pete Alonso, 152. When we think about Pete Alonso with those great home run derby, things and stuff. So, all right, that's the list. In the comments, who's missing? Mr. Fuego, you tell us who's missing.
Where does Nelson Cruz fit in this equation?
Oh my God, yes.
And in case nobody knows, as of right now, Nelson Cruz has exactly 461 home runs. He could easily get those between this season and next
season. Yeah, I wonder if they're thinking, because I know Nelson Cruz is up there in age, but I don't know if you guys seen him play ball lately. He's still got it. So
Miggy, look at Miggy.
Miggy, yeah. I was watching the last Tigers game I watched. Somebody was like, this is Mickey's last year. And he was sitting in the ballgame. He's like, kind of looks like he's retired already. They were just jiving at him. But dude, Mickey can still hit. There we go. There's a good one in the comments there. Paul Goldschmidt has 316. What? Yeah, Paul Goldschmidt. I said Shohei Ohtani, and Shohei Ohtani's not on the list. So I'm wondering if they're thinking, because the whole pitching and hitting, one of them's got to give kind of thing.
There's a couple of names on here I do not see in the 500 home run club.
Yeah. I guess they're just going top 10, but still.
Arenado, I don't see him on it.
Yeah, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado's on the list. He's on
No, but I don't see him making the club.
it. I feel like Paul Goldschmidt should be on the list before Arenado.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, Brandon Jensen, that's a great point. The Mookie Betts, why is he not on the list? Like Nelson, yeah, there's other people like these people that are on the list, potential of doing it. I just feel like there's other people more deserving to be on the list. I think that's what I'm trying to say too. So just throwing that out there. It was fun. That was just something fun for us to talk about this week. Speaking of other fun things, me and Mr. Fuego were kind of doing the little baseball trivia back and forth. You guys know we're all about baseball trivia and stuff. You had some trivia stuff or some things you want to bring up. I think you did. Was it about Jackie Robinson? Did we already talk about this? Maybe
we already did.
We already talked about. Okay, gosh,
So yeah, every week we're gonna go ahead and start throwing random trivia at the chat, and we're gonna test your knowledge base on the sport as well.
You know what? I've got one. I do have one because I was watching the Yankees game today. We were talking about Jackie Robinson, and they asked a trivia question during the baseball game. They do that a lot, and I misread the question. The question they had on the MLB was, what were the next 6 players that got to the Hall of Fame, African American players aside from Jackie Robinson? I misread that, and I thought they were asking who were the next 6 that came from the Negro Leagues. So I was looking at that. So you guys, Jackie Robinson was first. Who was number 2?
Number 2?
Who came up next after Jackie Robinson from the Negro Leagues?
Roy Campanella.
Wrong. Larry Doby.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about old
Larry Doby for the Cleveland Indians. That was pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna do some more trivia and stuff, talk trivia stuff on the podcast here in the coming weeks because gosh, it's fun. It is fun. So with that, we're gonna end our MLB news for the week, and we're going right into the hobby news, baseball cards and baseball card goodies.
Yeah.
Mr. Fuego, we had fun today.
We had
fun today. We got together on StreamYard a little bit early, and we watched because Topps Dynasty. I was talking about it last week. Topps 2022 Topps Dynasty dropped yesterday, and you got to be a big boy. You got to be a degenerate to get.
You got to have deep pockets.
Deep pockets with over $800 for a box, and we see like $5,000 for a case.
$5,300 for a case of 5 cards.
Whew. So we did find videos on Leighton sports cards breakers. They're a breaker for degenerates, people that like to spend big money on big cards. And I think we watched 3 or 4 cases of Topps Dynasty. So
some nice stuff was pulled.
Nice stuff. So first and foremost, like I told you, like last year it was like $500 a box, which is 1 card. And it's up to over 800. And I'm going to guess now after those rips we saw, it's going to go up even higher. But yeah, the cards are absolutely gorgeous. There's not one card that we saw that we weren't like, damn, that card looks nice. The nicest patches, like usually like at least 3 colored patches. Really,
even the lower tier name cards were beautiful.
Yeah, there was, I think, only 1 card in those whole 3 cases that I kind of would have been bummed to get. But if you're a star of the team, like that's your team, like you would have been all right with it. But all right,
did see 1 player sporting 3 different uniforms in that set.
Yeah, we did see the player that they're filling it in with. So all right, we watched these 3 boxes. Everything was like, I think it's 25 or less.
Everything, but 90% of what we saw was less than 5.
Yeah, it was like 10 or less, something like that. We did see 2. We saw 2 Julios out of 5. So Leighton Sports Cards got 2 of the out of 5 Julio autos with these amazing patches and this like rainbow smoke refractory look in the background and just super nice pictures. We saw a 1 of 1 Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
With the full Astros patch. It was super cool looking. The filler, the one I think was in he was in every case. 3 cases. We saw
He was
3
in a
different.
Tiger uniform, a
Yeah.
Marlin uniform, and a Ranger uniform.
Yeah, Pudge Rodriguez. Ivan Rodriguez was in every single case. Each of his cards was numbered to 10, and they were all of him on a different team. So we were like, okay, cool. I think it was I don't want to speak for Mr. Fuego, but I think our least favorite out of it was there was a Hyunjin Ryu.
Yep, Hyunjin Ryu
on the Blue Jays. That wasn't it was a gorgeous card. Don't get me wrong. Wouldn't mind owning it one bit. But
a Jays fan would have chose somebody else.
It wasn't the Blue Jay I wanted to see. There was a couple of Blue Jays in line before him.
Yeah.
In my mind. We saw a really nice. Think of it. There was the Alex Bregman. There was the Julios. There was the Ivan Rodriguez.
John Smoltz.
Oh, there was a really nice John Smoltz. I immediately he just commented Adam's card closet. I was like, ooh, Adam would love.
And that one was out of 10.
Yeah. At any rate, point I'm trying to make is watch some breaks of it because it's just fun. Definitely don't purchase this unless you're like, rolling in it. I can't afford stuff like that, but I can appreciate really nice looking cards. They did take a long time to get this set to come out, like with a lot of things, like with 2022.
And they pushed some stuff to the side too.
Yeah, just like Mr. Fuego's waiting for his 2022 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary, which is pushed back to
June 7th.
2026. No, I just
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with that. Check out some videos on 2022 Topps Dynasty. I'm sure Phil's Pulls will have a video soon, and some of the other breakers. It is just fun to watch. They're beautiful cards. Some other products that are going to be coming out. Bowman 2023 Bowman should be out next week. They've got a release date of the 21st potentially. You guys know that sometimes these dates get pushed back, but 2023 Bowman is supposed to be out next week. That's one of the biggest baseball products of the year. So that'll be fun. I have a jumbo box of that coming from Topps, so who knows when it'll be here, but that'll be exciting. Also another fun baseball product is 2023 Topps Archives Signature Series Active Player is coming out. That's a product. That is a 1-card product. So you get a box, you open it up, you get 1 card, and it's a numbered card encased with an autograph. And they're buybacks. They're usually older cards that they bought back that they'll go ahead and stamp, and the player will sign. And they're lottery tickets. There's some amazing things in that. A lot of times there's not so amazing things in that. So that's why I always call it a lottery ticket. When you'll either lose or you'll hit big. Yeah. That's usually the case. So those are the latest products we got coming. We'll be watching videos on in the next couple weeks.
Well, we do have some grading companies doing some big things.
Yes. I was going to say our biggest news this week as far as the hobby is all these different things and different emails that we've been getting on these grading companies. We talked last week about tag grading a little bit. Tag grading is now being shown on Fanatics, so we thought that was pretty interesting. And then pretty much that night, I feel like, or the next day, I got an email from Tag that they were doing a deal. They were dropping a deal. I believe it was on Thursday. They did it where it was $14 a card with a maximum of 10 cards. So a total of $70 with a 20-day turnaround. So I went back on that site today. Me and Mr. Fuego were checking things out for the podcast today, and that sold out immediately. It was sold out. They were only instantly. Yeah. So they're only doing that for so many people. I don't know if it's a weekly thing or not, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. You guys know that Mr. Fuego and I have done a submission with tag rating before, and with this kind of a deal, we said we're gonna probably get into this again. So if I can get a spot in that, I'm gonna go for it, and we'll definitely do that again because they are, to me, the most gorgeous graded cards there are. I'm not sponsored by them. Nobody told me to talk about them. We just tried it out because it was new, because we like to collect cards. We like to grade cards. We have fun. But they have very nice looking cases. I also got an email from HGA, which you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of HGA, but I do want to give them respect for they're still trying. They're still putting stuff out there. They had a deal, I think, and it's 2 days left on that. So if you're interested in this, they've got 2 days left for $14 a card, with a 60-day turnaround with HGA, and they're also dropping a deal, or they're going to start doing the horizontal cards. They already do the horizontal cards. You guys don't know. I actually have a card that I wanted for that. My Boba Rainbow was came in one of those horizontal cards, but they're doing it for cards up to 140 points. That's going to start April 17th with HGA. So my whole point in that is there's deals with HGA. They're still out there. Some people still might like HGA, like the way their slabs are, the different colors, the different options they have for that. They're not a bad looking slab. Me personally, I didn't have a good experience with them. Maybe I got to give them another chance. Who knows? They're still out there doing deals, trying things out. So I wanted to give them their shout out there. Now, last but not least, of course, we've got PSA. The new collector club deals came out. I do a bulk of my submissions with PSA. Mr. Enfuego does too. I'm his personal grader. I'm a few people's personal graders. And I got the email with all the collector club deals coming out. They have a deal that started where it's $16 a card for 2022 and 23 cards, with a declared value of $299. And that was I believe a 60-day turnaround for that. That's a good deal. I wanted to talk about if you guys are seeing the trend with the grading companies. Those prices are dropping. You guys, the hobby is not 2020 or 2021 anymore. Card prices are going down. The people that are still into cards because they love baseball cards, it's not all about flipping and doing money, which, don't get me wrong, we both sell cards and do all that, but this is more of a hobby for us. We're doing
not a full-time business,
not a full-time thing. I'm not trying to make a business out of it, do 10x or anything like that. If I was trying to do it, I'd be out of business. I'd like to sell some and trade some here and there for more cards for my PC. So if you've been thinking about getting into grading, it's getting to be a little bit better of a time to do that as far as the cost and the turnaround. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are nervous or, unsure of the whole grading thing. It's really not that difficult. You can reach out to Mr. Enfuego or I in the Discords that we have posted in the description. And it's not just us. There's a ton of people in that Discord that will help you with any questions. There's some people that have asked me if I would submit cards for them. I do that on occasion if you need help. I'm brutally honest, so I take that in mind, because you might think you have a card that's worth grading, or you might, everybody, there's so many people I've met that think they have PSA 10s when they just don't, and they get their feelers hurt when I tell them they're not. And if you're that kind of a person, I'm not for you. So I was just double checking that turnaround time with PSA. It is 60 days. 60 days.
I mean, I'll give it to PSA. Their turnarounds have increased and gotten better tenfold.
big time.
You know, I think it was during the pandemic. Send it off 1 January 2020. You expect to get it 1 January 2021. February,
Yeah.
the latest.
Yes, 100%. So
Kudos to PSA.
It's just another thing with the way the hobby is right now. The people that are really, loving card collecting or sticking around, and the ones that we're just doing it just for a business, they're not there anymore. So yeah.
Yep.
That's that 16 card $16 per card special. If you're part of the collectors club, which is a month or a yearly fee, FYI, it was a 20 card minimum as well. Just wanted to let you guys know that. They have another deal, a Super Express. If you got like some fancy, like super expensive card, they've got $100 off on that right now. But that was like normally $399, where it's like a 5-day turnaround, and the declared value is $499, $4,999. So that's for big boy cards. I'm not sure if I said this right, but it's a 5-day business turnaround. I don't know if I said it or not, but it's something to keep in mind. All different kinds of ideas. So with that being said, I also wanted to let you guys know that I just got a PSA submission back yesterday. I filmed that video with my buddy Jebin, who's been in a couple of my videos with me because he had some cards in it. Mr. Enfuego's got some cards in it, and my brother-in-law has some amazing. Everybody had great cards, but he's got a lot of Bowman first autos, number to 2, like some crazy stuff. That video hopefully will be out tomorrow. Like I said, my dad's visiting right now, so I'm trying to spend a lot of time with him. At the very latest, I'm thinking Monday. But keep an eye out for that. A really cool 30 card PSA reveal with everything in it. It's got basketball, football, baseball, all the goodies. So keep an eye for that video. Another video I'm hoping you guys will check out. If you haven't seen it already, I'm hoping you click on it as soon as you're done with this podcast. I put it in the description. Mr. Enfuego put out a little trailer video called The J-Rod Show. I highly recommend checking it out. It's good. It's good. That video right there, I told Mr. Enfuego, I was like, that right there, that is why I wanted to do a podcast with you, my man. That right there, those kind of videos. Fun and exciting to watch. And it's just the trailer of the video that he's going to make, that if you're at all interested in Julio Rodriguez and Julio Rodriguez cards, you're going to want to check it out. Go to Mr. Enfuego's YouTube. Make sure you have subscribed. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you get it as soon as it drops. You're not going to want to miss it. Woo! What a podcast. What else you got, Battle? You got anything else for the podcast?
That's pretty much, we've pretty much covered everything. As always, appreciate everybody for taking time out of their Saturday to hang out with us. But we still strongly advise you to check us out on your favorite audio podcasts. Please tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to your podcasts, definitely check us out. And for those of you that are joining us here on YouTube tonight, we appreciate you guys so much. Cannot thank you enough. Be sure to hit that like button, share the stream if you have time. We would appreciate that. And thank you for being here with us every Saturday night, and for all our other videos. I know you guys are all there commenting on both of our videos and stuff. We appreciate you so much. And that's going to be a wrap on tonight's podcast. Thank you guys so much, and you all have a great night.